Number 1, taking care of pet rocks. In the 70s, a peculiar trend took hold as children across the nation fervently pleaded with their parents for a mere $4 investment. Not for the latest toy or gadget, but for a rock. At first glance, this may seem like a whimsical and absurd pursuit, making it appear as though 70s kids were unwitting victims of an elaborate con. However, in hindsight, there is a nostalgic fondness for those who partook in the craze, the era of the pet rocks. And surprisingly, no regrets linger. The phenomenon of pet rocks granted children a peculiar but endearing form of companionship. For the meager sum of $4, kids acquired an inert rock, transforming it into an unconventional pet. The routine involved feeding, walks, and even the responsibility of cleaning up after these geological companions, mirroring the tasks associated with caring for traditional pets. One might scoff at the notion of investing time and emotion in an inanimate object, but to those who cherish their pet rocks, it was a genuine source of joy and amusement. While the concept of pet rocks might be dismissed as a whimsical fad, it resonates as a charming memory for those who experienced the 70s. These were simpler times, an era unencumbered by the complexities of today's digital age. The innocence and simplicity of the pet rock trend allowed children to engage in imaginative play, fostering a connection with nature in an unexpected way. The act of caring for a pet rock became a shared experience among friends and families. It wasn't merely about possessing a rock, it was about the camaraderie that emerged from collectively embracing the trend. The joy derived from imaginative play and the unconventional bonds formed with these geological companions fostered a sense of community among 70s kids. Moreover, the pet rock phenomenon is a testament to the human capacity for finding joy in the simplest of things. It speaks to the innate desire for connection and the ability to derive amusement from unexpected sources. In a world where technological advancements and material pursuits often dominate, the humble pet rock stands as a quirky reminder of the joy that can be found in embracing the uncomplicated and unassuming. Looking back, it's clear that the 70s were an era of experimentation and cultural shifts. The pet rock, though seemingly absurd, reflects the zeitgeist of that time. A willingness to embrace the unconventional and find delight in the mundane. While modern trends and toys may boast sophistication, the charm of the pet rock lies in its unpretentious nature, serving as a reminder of a bygone era where simplicity reigned supreme. Number 2, being afraid to go in the ocean after Jaws. The fear of the ocean instilled by Steven Spielberg's 1975 blockbuster Jaws has had a lasting impact on an entire generation. This iconic shark thriller not only captivated audiences, but also left an indelible mark on the psyche of 70s kids, creating a collective aversion to venturing into the open waters. Spielberg's masterful storytelling and suspenseful cinematography crafted an unforgettable narrative centered around a menacing great white shark terrorizing a small coastal town. The ominous da-dum, da-dum, da-dum sound, synonymous with the approach of the shark, became etched in the minds of viewers. For many, the mere thought of wading into the ocean triggered an internal soundtrack of suspense and fear. The film's impact was not limited to the realm of entertainment. It translated into real-world anxieties and altered beach behaviors. A generation grew up scanning the water anxiously for any sign of a shark fin, haunted by the primal fear that Spielberg expertly unleashed on the silver screen. This fear became a shared experience, a cultural phenomenon that influenced beachgoers and aquatic enthusiasts alike. Decades later, the legacy of Jaws lingers as a cultural touchstone, shaping perceptions about sharks and the deep blue sea. The fear it instilled has transcended generations, with parents passing down tales of the terror-inducing film to their children, ensuring that the apprehension of the ocean remains alive and well. Despite advancements in marine biology and our understanding of sharks, The fear imprinted by Jaws persists, a testament to the enduring power of cinematic storytelling. Whether it's the sight of a dorsal fin or the echo of da-dum da-dum da-dum, the impact of Jaws continues to ripple through the collective consciousness, leaving an everlasting mark on those who, even decades later, approach the ocean with a tinge of trepidation. Number 3, learning math and grammar from Schoolhouse Rock. The nostalgic journey down memory lane takes us back to the golden era of Saturday morning cartoons, where the unexpected star was Schoolhouse Rock. Nestled among the animated entertainment, these educational shorts became an unsuspecting ally in teaching math and grammar. The brilliance lay in their ability to make learning enjoyable through irresistibly catchy songs. As kids, we were treated to memorable tunes like Conjunction Junction and 3 is a Magic Number, which not only entertained but also slyly imparted knowledge. The charm of Schoolhouse Rock was such that, despite the educational agenda, we didn't mind the learning part. In fact, we unknowingly absorbed valuable lessons as we sang along with these animated characters. The impact of Schoolhouse Rock was profound, often leaving a more lasting impression than traditional classroom lessons. It's not uncommon for those who grew up in the 70s to vividly recall the animated explanation of how laws are made in the United States, accompanied by the infectious melody of I'm Just a Bill. The effectiveness of this unconventional teaching method lay in its ability to engage young minds through a combination of visual appeal and earworm-worthy tunes. Reflecting on the experience, many individuals credit Schoolhouse Rock for instilling a love for learning, especially in subjects like civics, where traditional methods might have fallen short. The seamless integration of education into entertainment showcased the power of creative teaching tools. Even today, the mere mention of Schoolhouse Rock evokes fond memories, and often a spontaneous burst into song as people recall the tunes that made learning an unintentionally delightful part of their childhood. Number 4, wearing tube socks. Tube socks, a quintessential fashion statement of the 70s, held a special place in the hearts of countless individuals, especially among school-going kids gearing up for gym class. These elongated socks, reaching up to the knees, were not just a piece of clothing, but a symbol of an era characterized by its unique sense of style. For many 70s kids, tube socks were more than just a fashion choice. They were a badge of honor, a must-have accessory that completed the athletic ensemble. Despite their practical purpose of providing comfort and cushioning during physical activities, tube socks also served as a visual statement, signaling belonging to a particular cultural zeitgeist. The allure of tube socks stemmed from the collective illusion shared by wearers that donning these socks automatically conferred an air of athleticism and coolness. It was a shared delusion, albeit a harmless one, that united individuals in their sartorial choices. Whether it was the bold stripes adorning the socks or the snug fit around the calves, tube socks exuded a sense of confidence and camaraderie among those who wore them. Furthermore, tube socks transcended age and gender boundaries, becoming a ubiquitous fashion trend embraced by individuals of all walks of life. From schoolchildren to celebrities, everyone seemed to have a pair of tube socks in their wardrobe. Icons like Farrah Fawcett and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar effortlessly rocked tube socks, adding to their appeal and solidifying their status as a fashion staple. The popularity of tube socks was not merely confined to the 70s. Their influence extended well beyond that decade, leaving an indelible mark on the world of fashion. Even today, tube socks evoke a sense of nostalgia, reminding individuals of a simpler time characterized by disco music, bell-bottoms, and roller skating rinks. Number 5, getting dressed with Dressy Bessie and Dapper Dan. In the nostalgic realm of 70s childhood, Dressy Bessie and Dapper Dan emerge as iconic play school dolls designed to make the seemingly mundane task of getting dressed an engaging and enjoyable learning experience. These dolls weren't just playthings, they were educational tools crafted to teach kids the essential skills of using buttons, snaps, zippers, and ties. Dressy Bessie, with her vibrant and eclectic attire, resembled a character ready to embark on a journey to Woodstock, capturing the free-spirited essence of the era. Meanwhile, Dapper Dan exuded a laid-back vibe, perhaps reminiscent of someone cruising in a van saturated with the unmistakable scent of patchouli. Despite their distinct styles, both dolls shared a common mission to impart valuable lessons in dressing oneself. The brilliance of Dressy Bessie and Dapper Dan lay in their ability to turn the learning process into a playful adventure. As children interacted with buttons, snaps, zippers, and ties on these dolls, they were not only mastering practical skills, but also developing fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination. The tactile engagement offered by these dolls transformed what could have been a mundane lesson into a dynamic and interactive playtime. Dressy Bessie and Dapper Dan became more than toys, they became companions in the exploration of clothing fasteners. Through imaginative play, kids could experiment with different outfits, mix and match accessories, and, in the process, gain a sense of independence as they learned how to dress themselves. The dolls provided a safe space for creativity and self-expression, allowing children to make choices and express their unique style preferences. Moreover, these dolls subtly reflected the cultural landscape of the 70s, capturing the spirit of the times. Dressy Bessie and Dapper Dan weren't just teaching tools, they were cultural artifacts that mirrored the fashion, attitudes, and vibes of an era marked by counterculture movements and a quest for individuality. As we reflect on the influence of Dressy Bessie and Dapper Dan, it's evident that their impact extends beyond childhood play. These dolls not only facilitated practical learning, but also contributed to the shaping of memories and cultural experiences for those who grew up in the 70s. In a world that often moves at a rapid pace, the enduring legacy of these playful educators serves as a reminder of the importance of infusing joy and creativity into the process of learning life's fundamental skills. Number 6. Worshipping Fonzi. The cultural phenomenon of worshipping Fonzi from the classic sitcom Happy Days goes beyond mere nostalgia for the 50s. Children were not tuning in to relive an era, but rather to witness the embodiment of coolness in the character of the Fonz. This cultural icon had a profound impact, with kids from coast to coast emulating his trademark thumbs up and perfecting the iconic "I" with the distinctive Henry Winkler inflection. Happy Days, which originally aired in the 1970s and 80s, showcased the adventures and camaraderie of a group of friends in the 1950s, led by the charismatic Arthur Fonzi Fonzarelli. The show's popularity was undeniably anchored in the enigmatic appeal of Fonzi, portrayed by actor Henry Winkler. Despite the storyline being set in the past, Fonzi's character transcended temporal boundaries and resonated with audiences of all ages. The Fonz, with his leather jacket, slick back hair, and that oh-so-cool attitude, became an instant cultural icon. Kids tuned in not just for the nostalgia of the 50s, but for the timeless coolness exuded by Fonzi. The character was the epitome of rebellion, confidence, and charm, all qualities that resonated strongly with the youth of that era. One of the defining elements of Fonzi's character was his signature thumbs up, a nonchalant gesture that became iconic. Children across the nation couldn't resist imitating this cool expression, practicing it in front of mirrors or among friends. The simple yet powerful thumbs up was more than just a gesture, it was a symbol of Fonzi's approval, and, by extension, the approval sought after by those who idolized him. The catchphrase, accompanied by a slight tilt of the head, was another trademark of Fonzi's character. Perfecting this vocalization with the exact Henry Winkler inflection became a coveted skill among kids. The playgrounds echoed with the sounds of enthusiastic youngsters mimicking their idol, attempting to capture the essence of Fonzi's unique vocal style. What fueled this widespread adoration was not just the character's aesthetics, but also the depth Henry Winkler brought to the role. Fonzi wasn't just a tough guy with a leather jacket. He had a compassionate side that endeared him to the audience. The combination of toughness and warmth made Fonzi a multidimensional character that left a lasting impression. The impact of Fonzi worship extended beyond the television screen. The character influenced fashion trends, with the leather jackets becoming a symbol of rebellion and coolness. The cultural phenomenon even reached schools, where teachers and parents found themselves amused by the sudden influx of Fonzi-inspired gestures and catchphrases. Looking back, the worshiping of Fonzi can be seen as a cultural snapshot, an era when a fictional character could capture the collective imagination of a generation. The legacy of Fonzi lives on in the hearts of those who grew up imitating his thumbs up and carrying a piece of that iconic coolness into their adult lives. Number 7, having Tupperware Pride. Tupperware, a household name that has transcended generations, continues to play a role in modern kitchens, albeit with a shift in perception compared to its heyday in the 70s. Back then, Tupperware wasn't just a utilitarian storage solution, it was a vibrant and bold statement that people took pride in showcasing, especially during lunch breaks at school. The Tupperware of the 70s stood out for its colorful and eye-catching designs. Opening your lunchbox to reveal an array of these containers wasn't just about the meal, it was a visual experience, a display of Tupperware pride. Unlike today's more subdued options, the Tupperware of yesteryears added a burst of personality to everyday meals. What further fueled the Tupperware phenomenon was the era's unique social gatherings known as Tupperware parties. These weren't just sales events, they were lively gatherings where friends and neighbors came together to share the excitement of acquiring these coveted storage containers. The social aspect added a layer of community and camaraderie, turning the acquisition of Tupperware into a shared experience. In the 1970s, the attachment to Tupperware was so profound that it became a coveted household item. Tupperware parties were not just about selling, they were about creating a sense of exclusivity around these containers. It wasn't uncommon to hear humorous anecdotes about how one would find it easier to pilfer a lamp from someone's house than to leave with their cherished Tupperware. The jest captured the essence of the Tupperware craze. It wasn't merely a kitchen accessory, it was a status symbol, a representation of modernity and convenience. Fast forward to the present, and while Tupperware may not dominate lunch tables in the same flamboyant fashion, the nostalgia surrounding it remains strong. The evolution of storage solutions and the advent of alternatives have changed the landscape, but Tupperware still holds a special place in the hearts of those who experienced its golden era. However, Tupperware's journey isn't just a tale of nostalgia. It reflects the broader societal changes, shifting from the communal nature of Tupperware parties to the convenience-driven choices of contemporary consumers. Yet, the colorful memories of opening a lunchbox filled with Tupperware containers continue to evoke smiles and spark conversations among those who remember the era fondly. Number 8, using the 8-track player in your car. In the 1970s, the 8-track player was the pinnacle of in-car entertainment, transforming road trips and commutes into musical journeys. Yet, as the decades have rolled on, the memories of navigating through the quirks of these devices have become a unique part of the collective experience of that era. The 8-track tapes, distinguished by their 4 programs rather than traditional sides, presented a distinctive challenge to users. Unlike the straightforward nature of flipping sides on a vinyl record or a cassette, navigating through programs required toggling, making the entire process more complex than desired. The mechanical intricacies of these tape players were often a source of frustration for drivers and passengers alike. One of the primary criticisms of 8-track tapes was their lack of user-friendly features. The need to manually switch between programs interrupted the flow of the music, requiring constant attention and adjustment. This aspect, coupled with the mechanical sounds of the player changing tracks, contributed to an overall clunky and less than ideal listening experience. Despite their shortcomings, 8-track players left an indelible mark on the cultural landscape of the 70s. They represented a transitional phase in music consumption, bridging the gap between vinyl records and the eventual dominance of cassettes. The uniqueness of the 8-track experience lies not only in its technical limitations, but also in the cultural context of its time. In retrospect, the 8-track player serves as a symbol of innovation and inconvenience, a paradoxical combination that encapsulates the spirit of an era. It was a time when the desire for portable music clashed with the limitations of available technology, resulting in a compromise that, although flawed, played a significant role in shaping the way people consume music on the go. As technology progressed, the 8-track player faded into obsolescence, replaced by more user-friendly and compact options. However, its legacy lives on in the memories of those who navigated the challenges of program toggling, a soundtrack of the 70s that echoes through the annals of automotive and musical history.